Hey, everybody, welcome into the building. It is Trending Topics Tuesday. I had to get my mind right and see what day it is, okay? It's Trending Topics Tuesday, and we got some good topics to talk about. First, I want to say this. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you again. It's official. The Diva hit 30K, okay? I am 30K strong in the building with 30,000 subscribers, and I really appreciate all of y'all for hanging in there with me, subscribing, coming back, coming here for trending topics. I mean, come on, holla at your girl. 30K. Appreciate y'all. And listen, just because I'm at 30K, don't forget, hit that like button, okay? Hit the like button, people. Keep this train going. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot say thank you enough. I'm so glad that you'll hang out with me, that you'll subscribe to my channel, and that you'll come back for the shenanigans every single night. Yes, the diva, the diva, the diva, the diva, the great train over here. We hit 30K. Come on, Ace. Next stop, 40K. I'm trying to tell you, okay? 30K. Won't he do? Come on, Emmanuel. Won't he do it? Okay, 30K people, hit the like button. I really do appreciate y'all, and I'm saying thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now listen, yes, come on, next stop 40K, okay? And by the December, I'm going to manifest this thing. We're going to manifest this thing. I'm going to be at 100K December 2023. Now we're going to have a really great celebration for 30K. But first, I got to get the kid off to school. I can't think nothing else until I drop this kid off at college on August the 27th, okay? August the 27th, I got to move that brother into the building. And my little, when you come in my door, my little entryway, it is just full of all dorm stuff, okay? Everything dorm is in my hallway, okay? And we're doing, because my son, he loves music. We're doing a music theme in his room. We're doing a music theme in his room. So it's going to be cute. I will definitely do videos and show you pictures, but I could not let this moment pass without saying, I feel like sun's on my face, without saying thank you to all of y'all. I truly, truly do appreciate y'all for being over here on the great train and riding with us every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all. So thank you so much. Yeah, Sheila been there with the college name. Yeah, I'm about to drop Mr. Man off. I'm going to miss him tremendously, but gotta let him go, right? Gotta let him go and let him grow. And I'm preparing for him to be good over there on the college dorms, okay? So pray for Mr. Man, my one and only. All right, guys, so that's my thank you. Now, y'all know the routine over here. Do not be cheating me out of my ticket, okay? Hit that like button, all right? Hit the like button, people. That's all we ask. That's your ticket into the building. Hit the like button. We got some good stories for you today. One of them is a follow-up to the plane situation. That woman that went viral, went crazy, saying she saw some invisible person in the back of the plane. Well, she comes back with her apology, right? Then we're going to talk about the unfortunate story where the young man doing his chores, daddy asked him to take out the garbage. He's being a good son. He goes and takes out the garbage, and next thing you know, he's in handcuffs. And let me tell you something. Your phone, everybody out there right now, y'all have the opportunity to become reporters, little mini reporters, because I'm telling you, if it wasn't for these people that take out their phone and start filming the injustice that's going on, his story would not even be being told today. That's right, Best IBK. They clinked them up, and he was just taking out his garbage, right? And then there's another sad story. I'm telling y'all that we have to find a way. I understand that people have the right to carry, right? But these people cannot be reckless if they're going to have a pow in their house and then have children around. An 8-year-old girl is gone now because an 11-year-old got hold of the pow that was in the home, and now an 8-year-old girl is gone. It's very sad. So people, give me a what in the building. Thank you, Sheila. Come on, y'all now. Sheila, My mod, she works very hard, and all she's saying to y'all is hit that like button, okay? 87 people in the building. We only got 60 likes. Come on now. Y'all could do better. Y'all could do better. Thank you, Sheila. So everybody, I need a what in the chat? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you for the congratulations. I really appreciate you. Listen, all aboard, everybody. We have to board this train for Tuesday night trending topics. And we got the people on the platform. And I'm telling you right now that the platform is jam-packed. It is full, okay? We're 10 deep and we're about to get into this, all right? Now, you know, we got Mr. Man in the building here because now he's coming down off of his Beyonce high, okay?
First of all, I got to read you down yesterday because you did not have to tell the people in my business that was a custom-made outfit. You
custom made, honey.
You ain't had to do that.
Custom made. That's how he rolling.
You had to do that. You had to do that. You being messy. But anyways, first of all, we must say congratulations to you. First of all, Auntie Diva is, personally, in my opinion, well deserving over 30,000. So we need to do better, people, by getting her these shares out here, because she is giving us daily content, not once a day, not twice a day, sometimes 4, 5, 6 times a day. Okay, and it's real work to get up on these videos and put this.
Oh my God, he's here.
It's real hard. So y'all, shout out to Auntie Diva for 30,000, and let's get her to 100,000 by December 31st.
Yes, my Christmas present. Come on now, thank you.
Your New Year's gift.
Hey, Diva.
Yes, sir.
My bestie is finally got the 30,000K. So congratulations to that, and let's get the 100,000 by the end of the year.
Come on now. Yes, Miss Wilson, I had to work hard. Finally, I'm in the algorithm. Okay, come on now. You better talk to the people.
Yeah, and everybody needs to get their tickets, or I'm gonna be kicking out. And my number is number 12 today, so I never forget to get my ticket now.
That's come on now. Thank you for getting the ticket. Thank you. Okay, and Diva Abaroya, you know how he is when it comes. Come on, when it comes to Beyonce. Okay, we ain't even gonna go there right now. Okay, we know how he is when it comes to Beyonce. But listen, everybody, welcome into the building. Thanks for being here. In my opinion, Sebastian, Wayne, Adele. Oh, thank you.
Diva is the most sweetest person in the world. Let me tell you. If you call her, even when she's busy, she still tries to make time for you. So I appreciate you. I want to give you all your flowers on this public platform and let you know how much we care about you, how much we love you, and we can't wait to see you get to 100K, 1 million, and beyond.
All right, now come on now.
Amen.
Thank you. I love you much. You on mute, Wayne.
Don't forget us when you get up there. When you be wanting a million subscribers.
She can't forget me, Wayne. I'm just gonna pick up the phone and call her.
Look, don't forget all about 1,000, 2,000 people.
And if you don't answer the phone, Diva, I'm gonna catch that plane.
You know I'm gonna answer the phone, okay? Wait, I'm trying to make sure I don't have no wardrobe mishap over here. I'm pulling up clothes. All right, listen. We good, y'all. So our first story is, we might as well go ahead and get into this young lady, right? And Adele, I think you're going to connect to this a lot, because the young lady who was on the plane saying she seen some MF back there that's not real. She lost her mind. Now, there's a lot more behind her story before I play her apology. She lost her mind, and now she's dealing with the aftermath of her behavior. But I always say that, and I think Roy says this a lot, I probably got it from him, there's consequences to your actions. And, there's consequences to your actions. And she's saying, the memes are hurtful, this, that, and the other. But, ma'am, you held up a whole plane ride. Everybody had to get off and they was delayed. There are some people that are afraid of flying, period. You don't know who you freaked out by saying, oh, there's a mysterious person back there, so forth and so on. So let me go ahead and share this screen with y'all. And she's a high-level executive, people. So crazy plain lady Tiffany Gomez apologizes at the viral mother effer is not real rant aboard American Airlines flight, right? And let me just see in case, is it here? Oh, I don't have the other video. I was going to give you a recap of what she did, but we'll just play her apology. Let's go with her apology. So y'all can hear it. Okay, here we go.
Everyone, it's me, Tiffany Gomez, probably better known as the Crazy Plane Lady, which is completely warranted. As you know, I have been unwilling to speak on the viral video, but I do finally feel that it's time. First and foremost, I want to take full accountability for my actions. They were completely unacceptable. Distressed or not, I should have been in control of my emotions, and that was not the case. My use of profanity was completely unnecessary, and I want to apologize to everyone on that plane, especially those that had children aboard. Can't imagine going through that and trying to explain to your kid what in the world just happened. We all have our bad moments, some far worse than others, and mine happened to be caught on camera for the whole world to see multiple times. Sorry, trying not to sound like Minnie Mouse. Well, it has been really comical for everyone, and I have highly enjoyed so many of the memes. On the flip side, it is very invasive and unkind, and I don't know what I would do without the love and support of my friends and family. They are loyal to a fault, and I don't know what I did to deserve them. Sorry, y'all. I hope that I can use this experience and do a little bit of good in the world, and that is what I intend to do. I hope that you guys can accept my apology and I can begin to move on with my life.
All right, so that's an apology. So I'm gonna just show you to give a reminder real quick. Let me see, Roya got it up for me. Of what actually happened initially.
Stop the plane! Stop the plane! Stop the plane! Not going to. Not going to. Not going to. Nope. Nope. No. So what's going on? No. Stop it. Stop it. No. I need to get off this plane right now. I need to get the off this plane. See what happens. See what happens after this. See what happens.
Where's your bag? Is your bag still over there? Yes.
See what the happens after she has a bag. I don't even give a about my
License verified, disarm door, standby protocol.
I'm a licensed attorney, so just be careful. I'm a licensed attorney.
You better tell them.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Okay. So bye. They said bye, right? So see, she accused somebody on an airplane of stealing her AirPods. Okay. she was doing the most. And then, she got up and, she went through this whole rant. But I don't know if you noticed a lady that was sitting next to her or around in that area. She told them to roll easy because she's a licensed attorney. So in other words, she put them on warning. Y'all can come back here and play games with me if y'all want to, but we got 5 seats. I'm a licensed attorney. So you want to come back here thinking we did something to that chick, you better roll easy because I ain't playing with you, okay? And I'm paraphrasing what she let them know when she said, I'm a licensed attorney and we bought 5 tickets up on this piece. So they tried to kick off the plane earlier because she accused somebody of stealing her AirPods. And let me tell you, Tiffany got money. She got money. Living in a $1 million home. She got money, right? So even if I lost my AirPods or whatever the case may be, I would have got over it. It's not that serious. Give me the airplane little plugins right now, and I'll get through this flight and let it be what it is, okay? So then it doesn't tell also that once she got kicked off, she kept trying to sneak back through security to get back on. Now, do I feel bad for her? Because, unfortunately now, and that's what people need to know, everything is being recorded. So if you don't know how to act right, get yourself together before you start acting crazy, or just know that it's a possibility somebody's recording it and they're going to have you on blast on these social media streets, okay? So I'll just go through a little bit more. So they said, after court on camera meltdown issued Sunday, saying her behavior was completely unacceptable, okay? Distressed or not, I should have been in control of my emotions, and that was not the case. Tiffany Gomez, 38 of Dallas, told TMZ in a clip in which she promoted her website and asked viewers to join her in promoting positive mental health and standing up against cyberbullying. Now, do I think she should be being bullied online? No. Okay. The marketing exec was booted from the July 2nd flight from Dallas to Orlando, Florida, after she accused another passenger of stealing her AirPods and bizarrely stated that MFer is not real in a now viral video of the incident. You can sit on this plane and you can all F and die with them or not. I'm not going to, the crazed woman said as the plane was taxiing, according to the clip. She demanded the crew stop the plane and the aircraft was brought back to the gate and Gomez ejected, all right? But then allegedly refused to leave the boarding area and continued her rant while being escorted outside the terminal, where she repeatedly swore at officers, telling several to get the F out of my face, and insisted the plane would explode after takeoff, video shows. Now, let's be clear. If this was not Tiffany and someone else, and she's talking about an airplane exploding, she's telling police officers to get the F out of her face, she wouldn't even be free right now to be saying on some video, I apologize, okay? In a selfie style video for TMZ, Gomez says she wanted to take full accountability for my action, calling her behavior completely unacceptable. Hi, everyone. It's me, Tiffany Gomez. Well, we heard what she said. I'm not going to repeat that, okay? But pretty much now she wants everybody to back up off of her. Why? Because she's being bullied and she doesn't like all the memes that is going on around her, right? And she's hoping she can do good. Gomez was given a verbal criminal trespass notice by an airline manager, but was not formally charged or arrested by cops who were heard on body cam footage saying they believe she was intoxicated, okay? And listen, of course she was. Of course she was. But my thing is, alcohol mixed with some other stuff. Come on now. My thing is, if you know you can't take the alcohol like that, then you shouldn't be drinking. Roya, what do you feel about Tiffany's apology?
I'm one of those people who don't really like to fly. So when I do fly, I like to have peace on the plane. I don't like confusion. I don't like lying. This is not the time to be doing all this extra stuff on the plane. This is the time for me to be at peace, get to my destination, and get off this joint. I'm a very in control person, so I don't like when things are out of control, okay? So as for me and Miss Thang over here, I personally think that she was on some kind of drugs. And, I feel like Y'all know I'm all about throwing somebody in jail, but I don't think she needs to go to jail. I definitely think that your flight privileges need to be banned for a very long time. So you cannot handle as an adult getting on a plane and, behaving in the proper manners, whether you're drinking, whether you're doing drugs, or whether you're sober. You obviously can't handle it. So your privileges need to be taken away. I think at least 4 years, no flying. I think that will handle the situation very nicely.
That part. In my opinion, what are your thoughts?
Well, you know me. I'm a firm believer of locking them up, okay? I think she need to be locked up for disturbing the peace. Because here's the thing. When we get on a plane, we usually going to somewhere. And we usually want to be on time, okay?
Yeah, that's facts.
So I don't need my time to be wasted that we had to go back to the airport and deal with this crazy lady. They had to onboard us. Then we got to board back up on the plane again. It's already hectic when you go to the airport. You don't want to have to deal with this. Okay, if you don't know how to control yourself, then stay away from people that know how to control themselves. She needs to be locked up. Disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, everything.
You talking facts. You talking facts. And not only that, she accused somebody of stealing her AirPods. And I bet you know what? I'm willing to bet money. She found them AirPods later. And that part. And that's why that woman said, I'm a licensed attorney. You better check yourself. I ain't mad at her. I was cracking up when I saw that particular video. Sebastian, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts haven't changed from the last time we saw this woman on the plane. I'm glad she did the apology because a lot of these foolish people don't do these apologies after they do this nonsense on the plane.
That's true.
I'm glad she did. That means she acknowledged her guilt. So therefore, I do not think she has any mental illness because someone who's mentally ill does not acknowledge guilt. Someone who's mentally ill does not acknowledge guilt. You have to have a conscience to acknowledge guilt. She clearly has one. She needs to be on the no-fly list for a while. She should only be able to take boats or her car, not on any plane. She wants to go to Europe. She'll take a boat from New York. She will take a transatlantic boat ride. I am tired of people acting like fools in the air. When you are in the air, it is the most nerve-wracking.
So you want to act a fool on the sea?
I don't act like a fool on the air. No.
No, I said you want her to act a fool on the sea.
Oh no. Then we could just push her out. So
not push her in the water.
Then we could just push her out. So she needs to face some repercussions. And I don't know if she's a VP at her firm, so I don't think she's gonna get fired, but she is gonna have criticism for the rest of her career.
Yeah, listen, you obviously she can't handle the alcohol, and maybe this is gonna be her wake up call with the alcohol too, or whatever she was doing.
And another thing is, I want this to be no flights in America should give alcohol anymore at all, in my opinion. You want to drink? Well, you wait till we land, or you drink before we get on. No flight in air should be giving alcohol, point blank, period. The only thing you should have is probably a little champagne, very low percentage of alcohol. That's it. Anything else? Well, deal with it. Sit down and drink some water and some cranberry juice. I'm finna tired of this nonsense up in the plane because of alcohol.
Sounds like she was drunk when she got on the plane.
Yeah, it does sound like that. But you know what? I got a girlfriend who doesn't like flying, and her beverage, adult beverage, calms her down. Yeah, it helps brings her down.
Well, she could take some melatonin or some tea or some Dramamine.
Oh my God. Listen, oh my God, Sebastian, I'm not even a drinker, so it wouldn't make me never mind, but the people gonna come for you with the ban and the alcohol on the flights. Wayne, what are your thoughts? Tiffany apologized. She apologized.
I know. I'm cool with it. I am kind of like with Sebastian. I don't think they should have no drinking on the plane. I know, same way they stop smoking, they should stop the drinking. You can drink a Coke or Pepsi or whatever, or I don't care how long the flight is, you can always drink something else. The other thing too is that it was, it's obvious she was drunk. And most people, I worked for the airline for 14 years, and most people will never even experience anything like this.
That's true.
I ain't even ran into a Karen in the store. So I mean, most people wouldn't, and I know it's uncomfortable when you do, but it's not. It's this lady, you know, like she was drunk. I don't see no jail time for it. She apologized, you know, and she kind of admit she knows she was out of it. Now, if she was just like some racist person or somebody just, you know, but she was under the influence. Okay. So she was under the influence. So she apologized. She saw she, you know, she was wrong, you know. All right, do maybe ban her for a year or something like that. Give her a fine. Give her a fine. I don't see, you know, putting her in jail. What's that going to do? Taxpayers got to pay for that.
Well, she needed a little more oomph in her apology because she accused some people of stealing her AirPods. And I'm gonna need her to add a little bit more to her apology, right? You accuse some people of stealing your AirPods. Now you got the flight attendants coming over to me, and I have to check them and let them know I'm a lawyer, so they better roll easy. Then you telling the cops F you. Then you brought the whole plane back into the station. And we all had to get off. You delayed some people. Yeah, I'm going to need you to pay for some plane tickets too. Help
if they start
get some credits.
If they start charging these people for what it costs to bring that plane back to the gate after it's pulled away from it, okay, start charging them for being late. Because once they close that door, that plane is on time. When they got to open it back up and go through all this, it ain't on time no more. Okay, so if they start charging them what it costs to bring that plane back to the gate, and that's going to be a nice little piece of change. You know, hit them where it hurts. Hit them in their pockets. That's where you get the folks. Hit them where it hurts.
Hit them where it hurts. Cass said,
don't hit me where it hurts.
Consequences. That's not fair. We shouldn't have to pay for other people's foolishness.
Right. Well, if you go to jail, you're going to pay for it.
Okay. I think he's saying she should pay.
Oh, her specifically.
Yes, she should pay.
You're talking about her.
Okay,
the individual.
Yeah.
It costs
to ask her apology for me, child.
It cost. Look,
I knew why you were laughing.
It costs to bring that plane back to the gate.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because you know what? They got a roll call on when you can even pull out. So now you delaying other people, you messing up the whole roll call. You caused a lot of problems.
And then they got to give out vouchers for everybody. Yep. They would have to give a voucher if they're missing their connection flight. And if they have to give out vouchers and all that stuff, need to charge her. And she's a VP, right? Oh, she got the money. Look, I have to do something. We've been on this live for 2 hours and I don't get nothing done.
Don't blame me. Okay, E, what are your thoughts? E, I know that's right. Get that house. Keep your house in order. Okay. E, what are your thoughts?
So I have to respect this woman and can only imagine the amount of pressure that she is under. Stressed out probably from work and probably under some form of prescription meds, allegedly, in addition to Buzz Light. When I saw the video, I just thought Tiffany was in no condition to fly. And I empathize with this woman. I respect her apology and I accept it. We should focus on more positive. I agree with her message and her website. I think it is a good cause. I am not concerned with how she spoke to law enforcement. Who cares? The police talk to Black folks crazy every day. So I'm not going to sit here. Right. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, cops need to be spoken to with white gloves and the staff at the airport. Oh, please. I fly all the time. Do you know how many times I've gone up to the counter and told them that their staff has been rude or unreasonable when it comes to something I've seen or experienced? And so I feel like when the staff of the airline gets it back, then that's just goodies. The only people who I do feel bad for, in addition to Tiffany, due to this online harassment, are the people who did have to go back to the terminal. Now, nobody deserves that. I do think those people should be fully refunded and their accommodation should be paid and they should get some type of courtesy for sure. But the only part I'm having difficulty with is Because I don't agree that she should be put on the no-fly list. No, let that woman pay her fine and move on with her life. This is not that big of a deal. Have a heart. Um, I do believe that due to the scrutiny she is suffering at work, and not to mention her family being scrutinized as well, I honestly believe it was a lesson learned. But I'm only confused about this. That black woman on the tape who said she was a licensed attorney. Uh, Remind me again, what was that disclaimer for?
Oh, that disclaimer is because initially she accused someone of stealing her AirPods.
But she didn't accuse that black woman, did she?
Well, yeah, because they asked her where was she sitting, and they asked the woman, how many seats do you have? Why do you need this woman is acting a straight fool? You coming back here asking how many seats do I have? I had to get checked in. I hate when the flight attendants want to come back talking about how did I get here? I can't get past that gate until y'all check me about 75 times. You better ask somebody, how many seats do I have? We got 5 seats, but that's why she told her, roll easy, chick, roll easy. I'm a licensed attorney.
So she was getting on the attendant, the flight attendant.
Yes, she was.
Okay. Well, then I rest my case. I think like Tiffany should pay her fine and fly Delta next time. To those people who had to go back to the terminal, get them some type of accommodation. But yeah, let's let bygones be bygones. This woman is suffering.
Thank you. She's suffering, and the people on the plane suffer too. But I love you. Dustin, what are your thoughts? Tiffany apologized. She apologized.
I don't think. I think that she should be put on a no-fly list, and if she wants to go anywhere, she could get a private plane.
Come on now.
She shouldn't be.
Go ahead, Dustin.
She shouldn't be allowed to be in that airport ever again in her life. I don't care what everybody thinks on this panel. I don't think she should be allowed to be fly any airport. If she done the same thing in this airport, she could do another thing in the Delta airport. And Delta, I'll tell you one thing, Delta won't put up with it.
Okay, they ain't gonna put up with the shenanigans. Thank you, Dustin. She get a private
welcome,
jet. That way you don't have to worry about nobody taking your AirPods and everything else. Felicia, what are your thoughts?
Am I the only one everything's shifting?
Huh?
Am I the only one everything's shifting?
Maybe so. Yeah. But I'm coming to you because now you did shift and you ended up at the bottom of the screen now. So you and Denzel are next. But go ahead, Felicia.
All right. Listen, Adele girl, I'm already heated over this clear woman and her nonsense. Okay. All right. So I travel with family. Everybody in my family is a version of brown, black, light beige, dark beige. And sometimes we got 5 seats, we got 6 seats. We don't need your damn AirPods. And you don't want to sit around a whole bunch of black people. You want to sit around some other kind of folk. You some millionaire, you a businesswoman. Get up there in first class.
Well, you better tell. You better.
Okay.
You better tell her, Felicia.
Well, I am tired. I'm standing with Sebastian tonight. I am tired of these folks getting on these planes and behaving badly.
Come on now.
It's costing everyone money. I agree with Wayne. It's all about economics. Let people start having to pay for the chaos that they create.
You better talk.
I have to follow the rules. I got to, like Diva say, you got to check in 16 times. Take off your shoes. Take off your bra. Put down your suitcase. Turn around. Scan me here. Scan me there. You get to the other side and you got a little bit of hand cream that's over the 4 ounces. Well, you got to throw that out. And don't you bring no water. And I go through all of that to sit down next to some clear woman telling somebody in my family or in my group, my AirPods is missing and there's something strange about us. Oh, no. I'm not going to be kind. I would have clapped her off the aircraft. Next time, fly first class, business class. You got it like that. You feel people's time is not valuable.
You better talk.
How about this, Felicia? How about she don't fly at all? She flies on her own plane or a private plane.
Absolutely. Go do that, sis.
I'm trying to tell you, because she's trying to downplay this like she just had a regular moment. No, sis, there was more to your moment, and you leaving that out because because all the video is not clipped together. Because somebody, the front of the plane have the video as she was coming out saying that MF back there is not real. She was talking about those 5 passengers.
Yes,
she was talking about, come on now. We not stupid.
Talking about that black man that she had to sit next to.
Come on.
And they had showed a video of her in the airport lounge throwing back them drinks. Okay,
tossing them back.
So I'm like, no.
Well, the airlines has a duty to ensure the safety of their passengers.
I agree with you. They shouldn't have let her board.
Correct.
She was giving them probably trouble when she had to stand, when you're in that ramp area, when you're waiting to actually enter into the aircraft. She probably was acting up then, uncomfortable then.
So they need to sue the airline.
Well, I want to say we already have an issue with American Airlines and the stewardess not taking care of the passengers. Didn't we have a story, Diva, where there was a mother and a daughter that was being touched inappropriately, and they served the gentleman 10 glasses of shots? So we already know American Airlines ain't doing what they're supposed to do anyways.
They need to get their life together.
Reason that this chick needs to be banned. I mean, and these flight attendants, something needs to be done. We got to start getting on these flight attendants too, because y'all take an oath when y'all, sign up for these jobs to do a job.
Yes, oath.
Come on, you better do the job right. Adele, let's hear from you. You on mute?
I think she's on mute.
Wait, hold on. Let's give it time. You on mute, Adele? We can't hear. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay. So for me, the first time we talked about this, I was leaning towards, it was kind of ambiguous. You're not sure what's going on. You're not sure whether it's like a mental health issue. Now that we have more information and we hear her speak, obviously she was on something. She was either on drugs or, like someone said before, she was drinking a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. So that information, we're all in control of how much we drink. And I do kind of support what other people were saying about, if you can't wait till after you come off the airplane to drink, you probably shouldn't be flying. Yeah. So if you want to fly, don't drink. I go for that because there's too much stuff that can go wrong in the air. Like if you can prevent it, let the drink stay until you land. But the thing is, then you have to worry about, are they going to get it at a lounge? Because they'll just do it before, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, figure that out. The other thing is that I look at
Oh, Adele, is it me? You put yourself on mute again by mistake. You're still on mute. Want me to come back? All right, I'll come back. Denzel, what are your thoughts? Tiffany, apologize.
Well, I want to say first, excuse me, congratulations to you for on 30K.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
No problem. I don't buy it. I don't buy her apology.
Okay.
Nope. So I think this is my first time hearing this story. What was the plane in the air when she was acting a fool?
No, it was they call it taxiing. It was about to pull off. So
it was about to.
Thank God it didn't pull off already. Because who knows? Because I'm a roll with she was drunk as a skunk and she was pissy drunk. So thank God it didn't pull off yet. But they had to back into the the spot so they could unload the plane. Yeah.
Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. Yeah. So yeah, she, like I said, I don't believe her apology. And then, she gonna show up drunk or wherever she was on. And the airlines, they need to stop serving people alcohol, because that's not good. And I think, and then she accused somebody of stealing her iPods allegedly. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, like really? And then And then she had the nerve to cuss at the police. She had the nerve to curse at the police. Now, I'm gonna be real, Diva. If that was one of us, you know, it would have been different.
We would have been cleaned up.
Yeah, clink. Yeah, clink. Right. So if it was one of us, we would be cleaned up. So yeah. So I think it should be consequences. I think she needs to be banned for a year from the airlines.
Yeah, at least a year, right?
1 year. 1 year.
At least a year. Yeah, you know what? So Pretty Me Jay said she would have been arrested if they were in the air. So she lucked up in a lot of ways. The angels was on her side because she did a whole lot of stuff that, to me, definitely if it was somebody else, the story would be being told differently. You accuse people of taking your AirPods. Like that's accusing people of stealing from you.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, you can. Give me 1 minute. But
I'm sorry.
Also feel, no, you're fine. I also feel that lady didn't put them on notice that she was a licensed attorney. They would have came at her a little bit differently too. They would have got questioned a little bit more. But she let them know, roll easy, because I ain't playing with y'all. Everybody up in this plane will get sued. Yes, it is. It's called privilege. You ain't lying. Go ahead, Denzel. What did you want to say?
Oh yeah, and then people, like people trying to get where they trying to go, people trying to get where they trying to get, and she acting like a fool. You know what? She needs she got enough money. She can go and buy a private jet so she can do whatever she want to do. And that's it, Diva.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, no problem. So let's go ahead, Adele, and then I'm gonna roll to the next story. Go ahead.
Just to finish up, and since we're coming up with ideas of punishment that she should get, I thought that we need to start coming up with a program for nonviolent criminals who can clean, labor.
Darn, Adele, you keep losing your sound.
But that already exists. It's called community service.
Oh, you said it does exist. Yeah, community service. But I do hear what she's saying, though, right? Some softer mandatory punishments. Okay.
Let's feed the kids in Africa. Stop all this nonsense.
Okay, guys, let's move to this next story because I didn't think we was gonna spend that much time on this. Let's talk about the 12-year-old boy who was just going to take out his garbage and he gets handcuffed. Okay, there's so many problems with this story, and I'm sick of the cops just grabbing up people because how many people can have on a white t-shirt and some neon shorts? Okay, you don't have no more description than it was a black person with a white t-shirt and neon shorts? Don't you say the person looks around 20 or 30 or something like that? This is like pure insanity. So let's hear this story and we're going to talk about it. Am I unmute? Is unmuted? I hope it's unmuted. Okay, let's play this.
Police while he was taking out the trash. Police said with a case of mistaken identity. The Marco Morton.
Michael, good morning to you. Have never happened. Telling us the 12-year-old boy is a straight-A student in school who wants to later become an engineer. The father going on to say the situation could have ended badly had his son panicked and took off running.
When it happened, I was really shocked and frightened about the situation and how it happened.
This morning, 12-year-old Tayshawn Bernard speaking out for the first time after being handcuffed and detained by Lansing, Michigan police while taking out the trash in what authorities are calling a case of mistaken identity.
And right now, I'm feeling just the same way, just really shocked how this could have came to this circumstance. Oh, what's going on?
The kid bringing out his trash to be dumped.
Cell phone video of the incident seen by millions, sparking outrage and a demand for answers.
I was so mad I didn't want to hear anything.
His father, Michael Bernard, horrified and disgusted.
In this time and era in America, I am scared for anything to happen to my son.
Michael says it all started when he asked his son to take the trash out to the dumpster at their apartment complex last Thursday.
He was taking out his trash, yo.
When the preteen didn't return after being gone for several minutes, the father says he looked outside to find Tayshaun surrounded by police.
I saw police around him, so I dropped what I had in my hand and rushed downstairs, and I said to the police officer, I said, why you have my son in handcuffs? What's the problem?
Tayshaun was released moments later, but visibly shaken, turning his back to officers as his father, seen here visibly upset as well, continuing to chastise officers as a neighbor continues to record.
I'm just washing up my dishes. I said, son, can you take the garbage down? That's what he did. You get what I'm saying? And that's a trauma that traumatized my son.
He's still puzzled until now. He asks a question, what have I done?
The Lansing Police Department posted on Facebook, our officers was pursuing a suspect in a string of Kia thefts wearing neon shorts and a white shirt. A different officer was in the area and saw Tayshaun wearing a very similar outfit and put cuffs on him. Attorneys for the boys say Tayshaun did not have on a white shirt.
The shirt that he was wearing was a light gray or a light bluish color shirt. There's no mistaking if you see that shirt.
The department continuing, our hope is we can put this unfortunate case of wrong place, wrong time behind us and continue to represent the community that we serve. And the police chief later posting a separate apology. This morning, the Bernard family wanted accountability and says they are keeping all options on the table, including the possibility of filing a lawsuit.
I want justice for my son. Justice.
The mayor also apologizing for the ordeal, telling ABC News LPD is in contact with the family and providing support for any trauma involved, saying our officers do their absolute best to protect Lansing. But in this case, a mistake was made and we own it and apologize to those affected. But the family tells us in response they have yet to be contacted by the mayor or police. Guys?
Wow. Okay, DeMarco, thanks very much.
Now to an ABC News.
So the family said they ain't get contacted by nobody. So I'm not sure what they're talking about, that, you know, the police and everybody contacted them. This is very sad. This kid is traumatized. You can tell in his interview that he's still traumatized. Only 12 years old, taking out the garbage. I mean, he probably is going to be scared to take out the garbage for the rest of his life. And the dad is going to be at the door, like, looking to make sure when he does take out the garbage, nothing happens. You got to have more than some description. I had on a white bodysuit and a skirt before you picked me up. What color was the person here? Did they have glasses on? No glasses on? Did they look like yes, come on, PTSD. Did they look like this? Come on now. Just a description of clothing, and you lock this little kid up and he got garbage in his hand? This is ridiculous. Warrior, what are your thoughts?
Now, this is an F your apology situation. We don't want your apology. We don't want your arms. We don't want your nothing. We want your money is what we want. We don't want your counselors trying to help us. We want your money so that we can buy our own therapist to help my child get through this. I don't even take out the trash. And now I'm just like, oh my God, I'll probably never take out the trash, because you know, just because he was a young black man, that meant he was the person that committed the crime that y'all was looking for. This is pitiful. This is sad. This young boy, as you said, Diva, you can still tell that he is shaking. The way that he shook his leg in that interview, he is just terrified for his life. You know, we already see it on the TV enough. All of these young black people who are out here just as innocent as they, and being pow-powed down by the police and everybody else. We now can't even take out the trash no more without being considered suspects for a crime that we didn't even commit. This is a horrible situation. The fact that they would get up on here and tell the community that they have apologized to this family and that they've been reached out to, and the family has said no one was reached out to. Throw all the items off the table. We don't want none of your solutions. We want an attorney and we want to go to court. Period. Point blank. And also, a couple of people need to lose their jobs too, because if you ain't sound enough to see that obviously this is a child, not no individual who's an adult that you're looking for, and he's taking out the trash, you obviously don't have the mental capacity to be on the job.
I agree with you 100%. 100%. In my opinion, what are your thoughts?
Okay, Diva. So when I heard this, it really pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, you can clearly tell that baby is a baby. Okay, first of all, anybody looking at him can tell he's not no adult that's out there committing crimes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if all you got to base it on is some clothing color, then baby, I'm gonna need you to stop. You're gonna have to find a better way to do this because it's not fair that we have to be the ones that have to be, oh, we're sorry, you was at the wrong place, wrong time. No, we the wrong skin color, wrong time. And I'm tired of it. We just saw this whole white lady, she made a whole spectacle on the airplane and nothing happened. They didn't handcuff her, they didn't find her, they didn't do none of that. But this kid going out to take out the trash is handcuffed, surrounded by police officers and harassed. Make that make sense. Like, no, we need to defund police and they need to be retrained.
It's very sad. In my opinion, everybody loves the way that you start off. Let me tell you something. Everybody loves that. Sebastian, what are your thoughts?
You know, I look at this as this in a different perspective. Don't drag me yet. Just listen to what I'm gonna say. Thank God this young kid was not unalived.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because
Yeah,
we
no,
all
fact.
know this could have happened. This young kid could have been unalived. Especially, thank God they did not unalive him. What if the whole thing was a whole different thing? Oh, we have a suspect who's running away, who's doing, like, this kid could have been unalived, and I'm glad that he's alive. The family definitely needs.
Let me add this, Sebastian. Yeah, this thing was about to go left till that father came out there and blacked out. Because why was they putting him in a police car?
Exactly. No questions, nothing.
Yeah.
Also, clearly they could see this as a kid. I don't even think this kid knows how to even drive a car yet. So how is he out in these streets stealing Kias? Thank God this happened, because thank God, no, not thank God this happened. Thank God the father was there to stop what could have happened. This kid needs therapy. This kid is going to remember this day for the rest of his life. I hope they get an attorney. They need to sue the police department.
They have an attorney.
Okay, they need to sue the police department. And if they find some settlement, okay, great. If they don't, take it to trial. Take it to trial. Because you cannot manage to do these mistakes as police officers. You can't manage to do these mistakes. These are mistakes that are like, and this mistake was clearly you could have evaded this mistake, because clearly the kid was not even wearing a white shirt on. It was light blue.
But the thing is, though, even outside of the clothing, you have no more details. Usually,
exactly. We don't even know if the suspect was even black, Diva. We don't even know the suspect was black.
We do not, right? Usually they call on looking for a suspect. Kia, they got a white t-shirt, black male, seems about 35 to 45 or 25 to 35, whatever. It's more details. And like Maria said, you can clearly see this is a kid that got a garbage pan in his hand. So
Diva, that's another thing that was wrong, Diva. They shouldn't have did nothing to that kid without his parents' permission, because he is a minor. And we all know you can't handcuff or talk to a child without their parents there to be there for them as their advocate. So they shouldn't even did that in the first place. They should have said, "Where's your parent?"
Yeah, you talking facts there. You're talking facts there.
Exactly. So
they was about to literally put this kid in the car. Thank God he had a very calm temperament.
Thank God he did. If he was, trust me, if I was that kid, I'd have been unalive, Diva. All I know, I'd have been unalive. I would have been like, "Why are you putting me in cuffs?" Yelling and shaking. Thank God that this kid was a very calm kid who did not want to react or resist. Because if he did, he would have been unalived. As I said, I don't want them to settle. I want them to drag him to court, drag him through. Because this police department clearly not the police department, the police officers made a mistake. Because I can't blame the whole department. I have to blame the police officers for being inconsistent. Because clearly, this was not the police who was after him. This was just one who picked up the call. That's what it says on the news.
Yeah, it did. It did.
So you weren't even consistent with what was being said on the radio. Like, this police officer needs to be fired. You can't manage to do these mistakes as a police officer. There are lives in danger.
Yeah. So Sasuke, like, I know that say I was a teenager and y'all clearly see me running out the mall, which this is another thing going rampant now, which is crazy. These people stealing luxury items out of these stores, right?
But that's because they done told them not to stop them. So now that you're telling people not to stop them, what you expect to happen?
Yeah,
you want to know what's so crazy? In my opinion, that's been the law like forever. But I guess now.
Yeah, but I know I'm saying you shouldn't have put it on a national platform and say, well, you can't stop them, because now you're telling the criminals, okay, I can go here and raid the mall and they can't do nothing to me. And it's up to the police to find me or catch me. Oh, well. But in the case of a minor, if they see a minor committing a crime, they're supposed to take that. Where are your parents? We need to go to your parents. They can't question your kid if he's a minor. They can't say anything to him.
But in my opinion, let's clean this up a little bit. What I'm saying is, if you clearly catch me in the act, whether I'm a minor or not, you can arrest me. You can arrest me. But with this particular kid here, you didn't see him doing anything. He had a garbage bag in his hand. And so you when it comes to questioning, yeah, you needed to speak to his parents. And what they can do is, remember the Central Park 5? They was allowed to arrest them, but you shouldn't have been questioning and taking statements from the minors without their parents there. So this is insane, because even the teenager that went to the school and unalived people, they allowed to arrest you without your parents being there. But now what they do afterwards and reading you your rights, and trying to interrogate you, you cannot do without their parents being there. Do you see what I'm trying to say? But I hear everything.
But here they can't even do that. I'm just telling you from personal experience. I told you about my kids, and the police brought them to my house and told me exactly what happened. And they said, no, we're not going to arrest them, but you are going to have to go to court. But I'm just saying, yeah, no, they said they're not supposed to arrest a kid. They have to bring them to the parents. They didn't put them in handcuffs and didn't do none of that. They brought them to me, but they didn't put them in handcuffs.
I hear you. I lost my way because I think the screen shifted a little bit. Dustin, did I come to you?
No, you did not.
Okay, go ahead.
You can go.
You want me to skip?
No, you can go ahead. I forgot what you were talking about. So
okay, I'll come back to you. No worries. I'll come back to you.
I'm sorry about that.
You're fine. You're fine. Wayne, what are your thoughts?
Well, all I can say, if you go out with a hoodie on and you're black, you're going to be stopped. Now, if you go out with neon shorts on, you're going to be stopped. I can imagine if you got on black pants and something else, it's going to be a reason to stop. Okay? My thing is that what they should do, since these officers want to, do this, it got to be consequences. The same way, if I make an accident and put my foot on the gas too hard, I go over 70 miles an hour, I'm gonna have to pay a fine. But I'm sorry, I didn't do it on purpose.
That's facts.
Okay, why these officers? I know he said, you can't blame the whole police department, but the tree is known by the fruit it bears. But anyway, I digress on that. But they need something. They need to start passing out some fines. I always say, I learned this in the military: hit them where it hurts. Take out some of the mortgage payments out that check. Let them not be able to pay their mortgage for a couple of months because of the hardship of them taking money. I had my kids were at that age too, and I can only imagine if a child is like, say, if a child has autism or on the spectrum. Remember the kid that went to the store and he had some kind of alley, whatever. He would keep the thing over his face like that because he was anemic.
Mm.
And they stopped him on the street. He had just come from the store. He had his stuff from the 7-Eleven, whatever. They stopped him. They proceeded. They rough handled him, and he was on the spectrum, and all he kept saying is, "I want to go home. I'm going home. I'm going home." And the more they said, long story short, you know how the police brutalize you, and then the EMS comes and they give him some kind of shot. He was dead the next day. I'm sorry, he was unalive the next day.
Oh, I gotta look up. I don't remember that story.
Look at that one. He was just coming. He was walking down the street, and just walking, and he had the thing that kind of the shirt or whatever you put over your face because he would get cold. He's anemic, and you could tell that. He just kept saying I want to go home. I'm going home. I want to go home. It was saying, if you don't want tears, don't watch it. Because I know, because my grandson was on the spectrum, and so I know how the signs when somebody has, how they act, things they act. I said, oh my God, that boy didn't have a chance. And they called not only that, the cops got off. Nobody was charged.
Wow.
Nobody was charged. But see, I get real upset when I hear stuff like that, because then I go left. I be thinking, why we don't have no DC snipers around to come after some of these officers. In DC, they had them running for their lives. So aside from the DC sniper going after, just random people, at one point, the cops were scared because bullets was coming from out of nowhere, and hitting cops. So I hate to say that, but I just feel like the bad ones, they need to be punished. And however the punishment comes, I'm fine with it. That's why I don't lose no sleep when I hear about officers being unalived. However they get unalived, I can't share the tear. It's unfortunate that probably some of the good ones get unalive, but I've gotten so numb to it, that when they do that, and the same thing, if that child had been unalive, you know how it would have went? It would have went, it was, we made a mistake, we hope we can get over this. The officers have been put on administrative leave with pay. That's a nice vacation.
Yeah.
So I get real upset, and I in my mind, y'all can hear my mind. It's violence in my mind. It's violence in my mind when I hear about how our young people, whoever they are, being unalived when other people don't get the same kind of treatment. When it comes to us, it's like pow, 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 pow. Some of the other people, shooting with a rubber bullet in the hand while they pointing a weapon at them.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Can I say something now, please?
Yes, Dustin.
I got caught up on what you're talking about now, but I seen the story on the news a couple of days ago, and I think it's pretty sad, and it's pretty traumatizing because that kid ain't gonna his kid ain't gonna want to take out the trash anymore, and if he even does, he's gonna be scared to because he's gonna be scared to because of the cops. He's gonna be afraid it's gonna happen again. So I think that the cops should be placed on administrative leave and do an investigation and see what the investigation does, and if they did it, they should be fired for it, Diva.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have a job like that.
Yeah.
They should have had more evidence. Evidence. That's where I wanted it. More evidence.
Absolutely.
But they don't have enough evidence to go ahead and just do it like that. He said, well, they picked the shirt matches who we're looking for. That doesn't matter what shirt you're having on or what shirt you don't have on.
Yeah, very sad. Very.
They don't need evidence for us. It's guilty. It's guilty.
Yeah.
Until proven innocent. They don't have,
Yeah, I know,
don't happen for us like that.
Yeah.
But they should have
and they don't need to be on administrative leave neither. I don't want them getting paid for doing us wrong. Like we need to stop that.
Exactly. That's
what is administrative leave when you paying them to be sitting at home? No, I don't want them paid.
Yeah. E, what are your thoughts?
Diva, I will not stand for this.
Come on,
Tayshaun sounds like a good kid. He's gentle spirited, if you ask me. I'm picking up nothing but good energy from him. And this is just flat out wrong. Tayshaun is doing his chores, and here comes the black and blue gang looking for the lieutenant of the Kia boys. So you mean to tell me that you think this 12-year-old boy is out here stealing all the Kias and Hyundais? Not one time did they mention seeing a Kia on the property or on the apartment complex. Where was the Kia, and how far in distance was the dumpster from the Kia that they were looking for that was supposed to be allegedly was about to be robbed? Where did they think Tayshaun was hiding the Kia? Was it in the dumpster? Was it upstairs in his bedroom? Like, did you find the USB-A plug on his person? Because in order to steal those cars, that's what the Kia boys are using. They're using the USB-A plug. Did they find that on him? Like, where was the supporting evidence? Was there a sketch artist who provided a visual after speaking with the eyewitnesses? Like, you have to give me some more. I need clues here. I mean, I'm like Scooby-Doo. Who called in the clothing tip? We already know that Tayshaun was not even wearing the right colors that they called in over the radio. So, who, like, when it comes to the perpetrator, was Tayshaun the same height? Was he the same complexion? Just because he's, I mean, we don't know. What was he the same weight? Like, I need more. I haven't heard anything substantial that would suggest to me beyond a reasonable doubt that these people who are public servants had enough inferred evidence or probable cause to put handcuffs on this child. The first thing you ask a person when you approach them is, what is your name and where are you coming from? This boy is in his neighborhood. Had those educated sworn officers with all the state training and sensitivity resources, as they want to offer resources so badly for trauma, these people took an oath to protect and serve. Shout out to Royer. These people would have known, had they talked to that little boy long enough, that he hadn't even been out the house long enough to look at no damn Kias, okay? Yeah. Because he didn't even have on no tennis shoes, okay? Yeah. How are you stealing cars and you don't even have on no running shoes? Also, to dispel this, police can question children without parental permission. Okay. They're not at the police station, and they're on site and they're looking into something. Police can question adults, they can question children, but
you don't have to answer.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't think you got to answer if they ain't arresting you for nothing.
Well, I was going to get to that. Police can question children and adults. Be clear. Children can be questioned about something they may have witnessed or their involvement in criminal activity, either or. However, no one, like Wayne said, neither adults nor children can be forced. That's the key word, can be forced to speak with the police. It's called pleading the fifth. So many people are training their kids to relax and comply. And don't get me wrong, I get it. I totally get it. But how about training and teaching your children to shut the hell up and not say anything, which can be used against them? Not to say that Tayshaun did that, but this is what's coming to my mind. Every time a Black person sees the police, the only thing they should say is, I want an attorney. Because we just saw the previous case I don't even give a damn if you have an attorney. Just tell them that. They don't know. We just saw at the previous case at the airlines, Tiffany Gomez ain't waste no time. Okay? She didn't tell the police. She didn't tell the police anything except forget you. Okay? So listen, these kids use their phone for everything else. They record. They need to keep recording these cops and give them the middle finger. The city official was talking about we will be more than willing to provide resources for trauma. No, this family requires funds for relocation. They need to get out of this city.
Yeah.
And Sean needs a maid so that he never has to take out the damn trash again. And like I told y'all last week, police would be more empathetic and cautious about accusing people without enough information. If citizens were allowed to arrest these officers, detain their asses, put them under citizens arrest, because the way that those two white ladies, those in black and blue uniforms, and that white guy, and I saw a black lady in uniform too, the way that they walked up to that father, it didn't seem apologetic to me. If I was the parent, it didn't seem like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean that. Oh please, is there anything that we can do? I didn't see that type of body language in the video you showed, Diva. And so for me, had Tayshaun or his father or both of them had the artillery to defend themselves and take all those, I wouldn't be mad at them. Take all the cops out, because you're bothering good people now. You coming into a neighborhood. They didn't say that the neighborhood was crime filled. I didn't see anybody standing outside. The person who was filming was from far away. The only people I saw outside were the police and the daddy and the boy. So you're coming into this neighborhood seemingly quiet from what I know, but if somebody knows different, prove me wrong. You put this person in handcuffs and you get ready to put them in the car. You didn't even talk to them long enough to pull out no damn handcuffs. Like I said, what did you find on them? A whole lot of steps were missing. And if the family says that they have not been contacted by the department, I would believe so, because what I know about these organizations, even the state, they never want to admit they are wrong, because it is an admission of guilt, especially if they could be liable financially. So I think that the family needs to stop pussyfooting around, file that lawsuit, and whatever you asking for, quadruple the number.
Yeah, that part. That part. All right, E. They said you told it, honey. They said you told it. Thank you, E. Felicia, your thoughts?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So the great news is the family has secured legal representation, and they got two fine, well-trained attorneys. So there's going to be justice for Tayshaun. There's going to be money for the college fund, for his private high school education, for all of his therapy, and probably for the family to relocate. This is one of a million unfortunate situations. This happens every day. It doesn't just happen to children. And I do believe that children ought to be loved and protected.
Yeah.
I myself was arrested as a full adult for allegedly not paying my fare. And I find it very interesting when we say, well, let's meet violence with a sort of violence. I'm talking about the mental, physical violence. When you are being stopped by law enforcement and you're not in a place where you're thinking you may be stopped by law enforcement, you are totally thrown off. At least I was. I can't speak for everybody. I can speak for me. So I'm on my way to work. Am I thinking the po-po gonna come get me? Do I think that my transit card is gonna malfunction? No, I'm not. And when it does, and I try to get through, because I'm one of them folks got to get to work and be on time. They're not playing where I work. And I say, well, hey, the thing isn't working. And my cousin was going through one of the things. And so I went in with her. And on the other side was a wonderful, wonderful law enforcement woman. She was so wonderful. God bless her. I hope she's retired by now. She didn't want to see that I had paid and the card malfunctioned. She took me in, and she wanted to do, the traditional perp walk, folks. And I'm going to tell you, not the whole breadth of it, but I'm going to tell you the thing I found most disturbing. When they arrested me, it gave them privilege to go through my bag. Now, well, you say, well, what's that? That's every person in your phone. That's every business card, any letters. I had just returned from a vacation with family, and the officer went through my photos and asked me if I knew any gang members. Did I know of any gangs, things like that. At the time, I was working at a very, very well-renowned law firm, and I had one of those 800 numbers, and I called from the jail. And you know, they're recording your calls. And I said, God bless them, let them record. I was talking to all my lawyers. They said, okay, we're going to call you back. What happened? I said, the Metro card just malfunctioned. They kept me all day. Wow. And at night, we were praying that the judge didn't get sick, didn't get called, that he had to go home to look at his kids. I was in a cage with some folks doing some real crime. I learned some real good criminal stuff down in that place. Okay? Some folks was talking about how you can have stuff delivered to your home, how you do it. They were hooking up. Yes, they were. Okay. And I had my 800 phone number on open so everybody could call. Mm-hmm. And you know how I got out of there? Because I got arrested with a transit worker. She was on the bus. She's driving the bus. Mm-hmm. Her boyfriend's on the bus. A woman boarded the bus, she said, got into an argument with her. She pulled the bus over, took off her shirt because she said she can't be caught doing something with your shirt on. They start fighting. She gets arrested. She gives the boyfriend the phone. Well, she has a friend in the court, and she made sure our names was on the docket so we wouldn't be held all weekend. Wow. There were children in there. There were 2 girls in there, 15, 16, accused of the same nonsense of a malfunctioning Metro card. They were coming from the beach. They had on bikinis. They kept them girls in there all weekend. I appreciate when folks say, yes, let's stand up, teach your kids this and that. But when you've had a horrendous experience, as I did, when you see how you're treated when you're taken in, you can't take your phone. You can't take a piece of paper. Only thing you can do is take some money. But what you going to do with money when you're in there? You can't communicate. You got to wait to see the judge. So I am so grateful that this kid's father noted that in a few minutes he didn't come back because they would have taken that boy wherever they were going to take him and put him into the system and then tell the parents, oh, we'll let you know. Sit in the court and wait. Yeah. So yes, we need to educate our children, but we need to educate ourselves. Mm-hmm. What happens when you're living your life? Not that you're in a place where a crime may be committed or something's going down or you're with the company or something. You just living your life like throwing out the garbage.
Yeah, facts.
And this happens to you. And I'm so deeply sorry, but I'm so grateful for these lawyers that they got, because these are civil rights lawyers. These are criminal justice lawyers. Ayana is a former prosecutor, went to the University of Michigan, went to law school at Thomas Cooley. They're going to win, and they're going to get this family everything they need.
Ooh. Felicia, thank you for sharing. Wow. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
Is she wouldn't even like look at your Metro card? Like,
oh, no. Mm-mm. And they kept giving her, and it was such an out-of-body experience, because when they took me to this particular precinct, there was nothing but Black and brown people looked like me. And when it was raining, so I had to leave my umbrella and something else there. And so when I come out of the court, it's like midnight. And I say, I don't remember why. It wasn't just something else. I had to go get something else. And when I went in there, it was all Claire police officers. Like it was a whole different piece. And they said, what they pick you up for? And I told them. And I said, meanwhile, I need to get on the train and I can't put money on this card. They said, don't worry about it. We'll let you in. I said, no, sir. I will walk home. I will not. And they said, no, nothing's going to happen. Please don't unlock the gate, sir. Thank you. What I've been through? No, sir. No, sir. And she would be in this place hiding. I guess this is how she earned her living. So you're on your way to work. You're throwing out the garbage. You're going to the supermarket. You never know when they're coming for you, but they're going to come for you because, as Wayne said, it's just being Black. And this hasn't been just the last 10 years or 20 years. It's been here since they brought our people here. And nothing's going to change. I don't care how many cameras. People are falsely arrested every single day.
Wow. I'm so sorry you went through that experience. All I could say is wow.
So am I. And I was so glad I had cash to give them 2 young girls money when their turn came up to get on the train to get home. Can you imagine? You're 15, you're out at the amusement park, you spent your money on whatever, cotton candy or ice cream or whatever, and they kept you all weekend in an air-conditioned prison in the base of a jail. And as a believer and a prayer warrior, it took everything I had for prayer to come into that space to keep me sane, because I'm in a cage with these women who, I'm telling you, career criminals. I mean, they're telling me how they make their money, how this one was on the street, and these 2 young girls are in here. And I said, here, please take this money. Do not board the train without money again.
So sad. So sad. Whew. Adele.
And I don't want to hear about no damn compassion for the people in blue. I stand with Wayne.
Actually,
you know what? Let me say this. If Felicia, Adele, I'm sorry. Hold on, Adele. No, give me 1 second. I'm gonna let you talk. Give me 1 second. I just want to say this. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm not gonna skip you. Felicia, I will say this, and trust me, I'm not minimizing your story at all. You know, my girlfriend is NYPD. I know a lot of people, like, you know, in blue. And for whatever reason, I don't know, this was way before I even became a nurse. I think it just exists in the world. It's some connection between nurses and the police. It's so sad that unfortunately there are bad apples out there, because there's bad apples, but then there's good ones, right? And so it's so heartbreaking that and this is any profession, right? Because if there's bad people, there can be bad people in any profession or anything. Just like, you know, unfortunately, we had that doctor that had her mishap or whatever. It's so heartbreaking that we have these situations, and it reflects upon the group of them all. Just like, you know what, they look at us a certain way off of the reflection of maybe a couple of people in our community. And it's heartbreaking to me. But I know we all feel this way. And I know when it's things like this, right? You know, it just seems so overwhelming because we constantly see the bad ones in the news and all of that. But I just want to say, like, as general, and not to minimize anybody's experience or story, that there are so many good ones out there. And it's so sad that we see all of these crazy stories, because I have different experiences with a lot of them. But don't get me wrong, like, I'm not disrespecting anybody's experience or story, because it exists, right? And it happens. But I just have so many heartwarming stories out there, and heartfelt stories of, like, the good ones. And it's so sad that these are the ones that we see that do bad. It seems like they are represented. They seem like they appear to be the representative of the whole group, and it's not so. That's if I hope I said that correctly.
And I heard you, Diva. And
Yeah.
so to clarify on my end, when you're wrong, you're wrong.
Right.
I ain't got no compassion for when you're wrong. You're
Right.
wrong.
Right. I agree with you. Right. 100%. But I kind of wanted to like put that out there because legit, like I literally have, and I got a lot of friends that are correctional officers, and in some of them, like I got some girlfriends that are traumatized from being correctional officers because some of these inmates, like they will literally, because they're lifers, like, you know, one prison out in Jersey, and then I'm gonna let Adele go, like it's Broadway prison, a lot of lifers, like people that are, and they, a lot of people that when they already were sentenced to life, like they don't give a darn, because it's like, what else can I do? I'm here for life anyway. Some of them will hold their feces, like, because if they get mad at correctional officers or whatever they want to do, and they would like throw their feces on them. Like, it's so crazy, like what some of these correctional officers go through. And you know, again, I commend a lot of these correctional officers. Now there's a lot of dirty ones, and that's how sometimes the drugs get into jails. But listen, but there are some really good ones. And you know, there was one jail where I was going to do that story. I may put it in another trending topics where, unfortunately, this correctional officer, she was pregnant and they wouldn't let her out. But this is a whole thing about lockdown too and all that. But anyway, they wouldn't let her out, and she lost her baby. But that's a whole nother story. All right. So Adele, you're up.
I'd like to thank Felicia for her story. I thought that was really sad. But I also think that sometimes things happen because you're meant to see something. You are meant to be in that place, to be a witness to that, because you as a person I've heard you talk and I've seen the things that you've done. You come from a very compassionate place. And I think that you are and will be useful on so many levels. Even for this story alone, I thought that it was a voice that needs to be it's a thing that needed to be said. And I don't think not everybody will have that eloquent way of delivering it so that people can hear it in a certain way. That being said, my thoughts on this story is that there's a lot of points that was said that I agree with, but I'm going to look at it. I'm going to say something that I've noticed lately, that there's been a lot of things that's been coming around. And I work with mainly youths in my career, and they've always come to me and said, "Miss, you don't know how these police are. They do this, they do that." I brought police I used to do an improvement day to talk to them about the jails, do all these different things, just for the improvement of the relationship and just for a different way of approaching certain things. And they learned from it, and they did do certain things. And I learned from them as well, because their experience is their experience. And whether it be negative or good, it's still their experience. And there is truth in it. I also wanted them to see the good side. Like you brought up some stuff, Diva. So they need to know that part as well. That being said, this little kid, it's very obvious that he's young. His voice, and I wasn't up in his face like these police officers were. Mm-hmm. They need to be better. Like and like I'm saying, I'm seeing a strain of things that are coming out, and they're being videotaped. So it's being pushed in the society's face that this needs to change. Like Felicia said, this is going to take care of his education. It's going to uplift his family, and it needs to happen. As a person, I've been praying for certain change for a long time. As a community, there's things that we need to pray, meditate on, ask God for, and look for. These things to me are moving in the right direction. Sometimes they can look negative on the outside, but sometimes you need to see the positive in it. It was videotaped. He's harmed in a certain way because that police officers coming in that form to you, whether they didn't even touch him or not, it's still devastating. It's still frightening. It's something that they're going to have to work with him to overcome. But that being said, I also believe that it's something positive in the sense that we're able to see it. It's no longer behind closed doors. It's no longer being talked away. It's because it's videotaped and it's right there. And I'm just glad for this is the first time in history that there's certain things that you just can't hide. You just can't say it didn't happen. You can't be letting this person gaslighting people in the background and telling them what they saw, what they experienced, what's happening is not happening. And as many of you know, when I'm talking about the police, I've never really necessarily back them up, or because I know stories, I have situations, I have people who I'm very close with that's been through a lot. So my compassion and the way that I approach to talk about things, it's a place that God has brought me. It's not necessarily about me being so good. The goodness is where God has brought me, not necessarily the person that you see. And I think we're all there at different times, especially when God gives us this grace to be able to do that. And I'll continue to do that because I believe that to have the heart of God, to see the heart of God is a blessing. And like Jesus said, God is the only good, but it doesn't mean that we can't also mirror that. You know, we are made in his image. And I believe that's the spiritual place that we try to come from as much as we can. And I'm just happy to be able to see that, you know, like from when we all talk, there's again, I learned from everybody on this panel, and I hope that you guys learn from me as well. And I'll leave it at that.
We do, Adele. We do,
yeah.
And maybe Adele, you're always here to soften us up a little bit. Maybe that's why we need you on the panel. So we do. It's fine. And
hey,
and
Diva.
Yes.
Did they have guns? Did they have guns pulled on him?
That I didn't see.
I gotta. It must have been another case where it was a young kid. They had guns drawn on him.
Yeah, I think that was another case. This one I didn't see, but either way, they was dead wrong. And you gotta have a little bit more skills than she had on a white top and gray hair and some glasses. You better get some height or whatever. Don't just be coming over here clinking me up.
That's why we need further training for our officers.
Yes, more training.
Because we're dealing with new world stuff, new world technology, and it's sad. I'm tired of seeing the injustice, and it's always on our people.
No, I hear.
That's the sad part. And I get to have compassion. I have compassion. But right now I have to have compassion for the people that are being misused, mistreated, and misappropriated. Because here's the thing. If we don't speak out about it, if we don't make it happen, it's not gonna happen for us. We not that lucky to have compassion and wait for change to happen.
No, I agree with you. See, here's the thing. You said a word to me that had my brain triggered. With this technology now, why can't all of these officers get a text of the description exactly what we're looking for or who we're looking for, so you won't get it twisted? Looking for black female, gray hair, glasses, had on some hoops or earrings, a white shirt and a skirt. I don't know. But more detail. And it appears to be between 50 and 60. I don't know. Give me some more detail. Knock this nonsense off where you're just constantly getting the wrong person. Denzel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is a sad situation. Thank God that he's still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
I said for sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. So thank the Lord he's still alive. And the thing is, I'm glad that his dad was out there to stop that.
Woo.
Because what if he wasn't out there? What happened?
I'm gonna let you finish. He came out there. Thank God for all the helicopter parents. Okay, because the reason why he looked out the window, he went out there, because he was like, why he taking so long with the garbage? See, that's me. I'd be like,
right.
Hey, my son hated it, but I'd be like, well, why? You just went to the store. Why? He's like, Ma, I stopped to get something else. I'm like, all right, but thank God his father looked and was like, it's just taking too long for him to get back. So the father looked out the window. He said, I had to put my dishes down, and he went outside. It's a shame, but go ahead, Denzel. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that the dad was out there to stop it, because God only knows what had happened if if he didn't go out there. I hope they sue that police department. I hope they sue the government. They need to pay for his college. They need to pay for his college. They need to do something for the family. They need to pay the family. Like they deserve to get paid, because this is unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
And then did you say something, Diva?
No. I'm listening to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then again, if it was I'm not trying to be funny. If it was a white person, that wouldn't happen. They wouldn't have clink them up. But because it was one of us, they put him in handcuffs. For one thing, they knew he was first of all, they knew he was a minor. They knew the clothes that he was wearing is not the same clothes that the person they were looking for had on. They need to do a better job with the description. They need to do a better job with that, because this type of mess, it keeps happening time and time again, and it's really irritating. It's really irritating because it's like our people. This, I don't know if you feel that same way, Diva, but I feel like our people, we get treated like trash, and we are looked at. We look as a threat. They look at us like we are a threat, and that's not true. And this is what they need to do. When a person is doing something like a crime, if that person did something wrong, it doesn't matter what nationality that person is, they need to put people in jail and give them the same type of treatment regardless of their race. So so they need to do a better job. Like again, this got to stop. They need to do a better job with the description. They need to get some training. Those cops, they need to be suspended without pay. They need to get some more training, or if not, they need to be fired, because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. But that's it, Diva.
Okay, no problem. Everybody hit that like button. Listen, I'm going to show the last story. We're going to give our quick comments on the last story once I show it. I feel like with this particular story, more rules and regulations need to go around the pow pow. Be easy. Remember, say pow pow, everybody. Okay. There needs to be more rules and regulations, and the people who own them, you got to, in my opinion, if you have minors in your home and they get a hold of this pow pow, you and that minor need to be held responsible for anything that happens. So let me share this last story. It's another one really, really broke my heart.
No, she would need to be a daycare worker. That's what it is.
But it's just even more to it, because this is not the only situation where these particular things have happened. And it's just very sad. I just gotta make sure I'm gonna share the right one here. I think it's, let me see. I queued it up. Just give me a minute. I hope this is the one I need to show. Let me see, people. Just give me 1 second, because I want to be able to show the video really quickly. I think it's the other one. Okay, let me share screen here. Okay, so an 11-year-old pulled the trigger in a fatal pow-powing of a Cumberland County 8-year-old girl, the attorney says. So as I'm waiting for this commercial to pass through, because I do want to play this video for y'all, what happened was a family, and they knew. Okay, wait, here it is. Hold on 1 second. let me play this and make sure we're going to be okay.
Of 8-year-old Genesis Dockery.
She is the little girl who died after being shot at her babysitter's home in Cumberland County. CBS 17's Justin Moore is live tonight. You had a chance to talk to the family's attorney and get a little bit more information about what happened here.
Yeah, the attorney for the Dockery family says that the family was told that another child shot their daughter, and that's why they are now seeking justice.
It hurt my heart.
A final goodbye on Wednesday to 8-year-old Genesis Dockery in Fayetteville. Her life tragically cut short after being shot back in July 25th while at the babysitter's home. Nearly 2 weeks later, her family is still seeking answers.
Keep sharing her name, man. We want justice for our daughter, man.
Attorney Harry Daniels out of Atlanta is representing the family. He tells us the 11-year-old son of Genesis' babysitter is the person who shot her. Meanwhile, law enforcement has yet to confirm it.
The weapon should have been secured, should have been locked away.
The shooting happened just an hour after Genesis' father, Von Dockery, dropped her and her little sister off at the babysitter. Genesis died 2 days later.
3 weeks, we know who the shooter was, alleged shooter, and we know what was the result of the alleged shooting. So I don't think that it shouldn't take this long.
Cumberland County Sheriff's Office tell us in a statement, the investigation is active and ongoing. Therefore, any details we can release have been previously released. Detectives are working as diligently as they can to gather all necessary details and facts needed for the case. As soon as new details are available, we will inform the family and send them out via news release. The family attorney says they want results.
Not only they want those who are responsible held accountable, they want justice and swift justice, because they never ever want this to happen again to any other family.
Now, the attorney for the family says he plans to keep putting pressure on the DA's office as well as Cumberland County Sheriff's Office until someone is held accountable. Live in Fayetteville, Justin Moore, CBS 17 News.
All right, Justin, thank you.
Whew, very sad. Okay. So what happened was there's a family. They knew the babysitter. The babysitter had a pow in her home. Her 11-year-old son got a hold of it. I'll run through really quickly. A little more than 2 weeks after the child was pow in unalive, a family attorney has stepped in forward to provide answers as to how it happened. Genesis Dockery 8 was pow while at a babysitter's home on Mercedes Drive in Cumberland County. She died 2 days later from the injuries while in the hospital. Okay, she was pow in the head, everybody. On Wednesday, National Civil Rights Attorney Harry Daniels said that the person who did it was an 11-year-old boy. Daniel said Genesis' parents, Fawn and Kimberly, received a call from the babysitter that their daughter had been pow in the head. The Dockerys were later informed that the babysitter, 11-year-old son, was the one who did it. The news has reached out several times to the Cumberland County's Sheriff's Office for more information in the investigation. The Sheriff's Office says there are no updates to release at this time. The Sheriff's Office said its detectives are working as diligently as they can to gather all necessary details in the case. Now, there's several articles on this story. I'm going to tell you that, unfortunately, the pow was not secured, and the 11-year-old was able to get a hold of it. I do not like, because here's the thing, some people can't even be responsible for themselves. And that's why I do not like this law. This is just me personally, that anybody can just go register, get a pow and have it in their home when they can't even be responsible for themselves, let alone a deadly weapon. Make it quick, everybody. I'm gonna go around. I know I hate to rush people on this subject, but I want to close out soon. Roya, what are your thoughts on this situation?
Can you come back to me?
Absolutely. You okay?
Yeah, it's my allergies.
Oh, okay, no problem. Okay. In my opinion, your thoughts?
My thoughts is it's something behind these police that they not, doing their job more better, more swiftly. And the parents is right. They do need justice.
Yeah, this is crazy and it's very sad. Sebastian, your thoughts? Same
See, the thing is with these pow pows and parents and children with the pow pows. I grew up in a home with a pow pow. My father made sure I did never see that thing ever unless he was going to work, and I would just see it next to him. Um, Parents have become irresponsible. Um, you have to make sure that you secure that weapon that you have
Mm-hmm.
with when you have children.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, the 11-year-old needs to serve some time. So does the parent. And I know some people are going to say, well, he's just 11. Well, 11, you know a lot of things at 11. At 11, I know how to do a lot of things. I knew certain things were wrong. I knew jaywalking was wrong. I knew at 11, you play video games where you unalive people at 11. So no, he needs to do some time because if he could do this at 11, in 5, 6 more years, we're going to hear something else about him doing something even worse. So we need to clearly rehabilitate him now, make him think of the actions that he's done now before we have to see him again doing it again in 5, 6, 7 years.
And I don't disagree with you, Sebastian, but my heart always breaks when you have a child that almost didn't stand a chance because they are growing up in an environment where perhaps they're seeing too much and it influences the person that they become and the things that they do.
I understand that it could influence them, but the thing is, even though it influences you,
Mhm.
once you take action on what influenced you, you take it, it's all bets are off. You took action. You acted on what influenced you. There are people who grow up in the hood where there's mad drugs every single place, all over the place. Some of them have never even taken a sip. Some of them have never taken a snort. There's no excuse about where you grow up in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The thing is though, Sebastian, some of us grow up around it and have to combat the surroundings, and some of us are right in the heat of the jungle. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm not making excuses for the boy, but I'm just saying, I always go to the Whitney Houston story. It was almost like Bobby Christina didn't stand a chance. And I'm saying this respectfully, right?
Diva, there's someone being messy in your chat.
Huh? Who?
Someone's being messy in your chat. Just
Okay,
look
I
at
see. Thank you.
The thing is, you need to take action once they're young. You take action once they're young so you can change the way they'll be when they get older. Because this is not even just the first thing. Remember that 6-year-old who said he shot that itch dead? That's another case where we need to take action young. And I remember I chastised E when E said, when you want to do grown things and you're little and you want to act grown, you got to treat you like you're grown. I chastised E. But looking at it now, E is right. When you want to do grown things, you need to be treated like you're grown. I'm sorry, chat. I'm very sorry. I'm very emotional when these things happen, when innocent people have to bury their child because the parents couldn't make sure that their child didn't know how to not to be around certain equipment.
Yeah. Okay, Dustin, your thoughts? When we come back, Dustin?
Sorry, I was on.
No problem.
My thought to this, it's very sad. This whole situation is very sad, and that's what I'm going to say for this conversation.
Yeah, it's very sad. Thank you, Dustin. I agree with you. Very sad. Wayne?
Not only is it very sad, but it is. But I'm hearing more and more of this. And it needs to be taken care of now. And this is it's getting to be very emotional for me.
Yeah, it's emotional. I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking for some happy stories. Wayne, What are your thoughts?
No, I'm not saying you're making an emotional leave. I'm saying
No, I know. No, I'm following you, Justin.
I'm saying that the whole situation is very sad.
No, I'm following you. I'm totally following you. I knew what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wayne, your thoughts?
I agree that the mother's totally responsible. 11 years old, you don't need to be locked up. You do need to have be in a place, if it's a juvenile detention, with some good therapy, you know, because I mean, everybody at 11 years old, I mean, maybe they thought it was play. Maybe they didn't think the gun would go off. It's a lot of things. So we can't just dismiss a child at 11 years old like that. You know, God forbid if it was one of my grandchildren or something like that, I understand. But at the same time, 11 years old, will you dismiss him? You know, I just don't see that. And of course, these people, they don't need guns. And
Pow.
I'm sorry, I feel sorry for Florida because we don't have no control here. You can buy one, you can walk around with it, you can go anywhere you want with it. I'm just, you know, it's almost making me want to get one. And I don't want one.
Yeah.
You know, because people do things, you know, you get mad at somebody. First thing you want to do is pow over something stupid, you know.
Yep. Yeah.
So, you know, I just think, you know, the child just need, you know, of course is going to need some counseling, a lot of it, you know, and hopefully it's something he can just get out of his mind. I don't think the child, I don't know nothing about it, but I hate to think that 11 years old, he meant to do this. I'd hate to think that, you know, he's probably going to, he probably can't comprehend it himself at 11 years old.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like it was an accident, but they're not giving us a whole lot of details. And the mother didn't either, because the mother has got to know she was negligent in this situation. And I feel like these families really knew each other, because both the girls were dropped off at this person's house to be babysat. So here's the thing though too, but you know, I grew up in a family where, one, we couldn't just go to anybody's house. And two, when we did, it was like, who's going to be there? They like our parents, not to say that the person is always going to tell you all the truth, but they knew a lot of stuff. So we always frequent like the same people's house when my mother did have to leave us, like, you know, with somebody or whatever. But my two sisters are older than me. So a lot of times when my mother did leave, and they're not that much older, we're like stair steps, but still, you know, we was left in the hands, like it would be my older sister, and we get all these instructions. You don't open the door, you don't this, you don't that, whatever. And then on top of that, because I lived in a building in New York, like our neighbor that was on the 5th floor, she would check on us. It's just so sad. It's very, very sad.
Wait, I think I misinterpreted the story. It was 2 girls or 1 boy and 1 girl?
No. It was 2 girls who were dropped off at the friend's house.
The dad dropped his 2 girls off at the babysitter house. The 11-year-old is a little boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I said the story right. Okay.
Yeah, you did. You had it right. E, your thoughts? And I'm sorry, let me just say this real quickly. Condolences to Drew Sidora and family, because her dad passed away. Someone put it in the chat there.
Yeah, from his battle with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I sent you the story.
Thank you.
That's sad.
You're very sad. So yeah, condolences. E, your thoughts?
So this is my neck of the woods. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill in April of last year allowing Georgians to carry pow-pows in public without a license or a background check. So these weapons aren't being registered. Let's just get that clear. They don't even have a license, okay, to carry. So they're not taking the classes to, you know, about regulation. They don't keep these things on safety. They don't keep them in a lockbox. And the government doesn't want you to. The pow-pows are easier to get, and the time you have to serve is not going up when you violate the law. Tory Lanez is a good example. He got 10 years and people said that's too much. Are folks dumb? People don't care about life in this country because the way that they advertise, the H word ending inside and the S word ending inside, the way they advertise these things and they show it. They show it and they don't blur it out. That someone we talked about rated R shows last week. Excuse me, people should not be able to turn on the news and just see DEAD bodies everywhere. I mean, there are a lot of gruesome images that they show us to desensitize us.
That's true. That's true.
These negative aspects, and people don't give a damn. Now, if the government, like I said, they don't care about life unless you're trying to get an abortion. If the government cared about life, they get these pow-pows off the street. Because you have to think about it. Our intelligence agencies can keep up with the ongoings in Afghanistan and Ukraine, but we can't restrict the amount of pow-pows coming in across our borders. It's lies. It's lies. With all the satellites and the G5, please, we have all this stuff in the sky. They see it coming in. They don't care. And I wish somebody would take all these bodies and drop them off at the governor's mansion, because it doesn't affect them the same way it affects the people who live in the inner city. And I'm familiar with those areas in which you named, Diva, because I drive through them on the interstate every day. The governor is responsible for this, because the people who are equipping themselves with these pow-pows, Diva, like you said, some of them are just trying to survive. They're not even thinking forward because they're not educated. They're not educated. And like I said, we gave $75 billion to the Ukraine, but on average in Georgia, I don't know about anybody else, child care, and I know about this, $221 if you're lucky, but it can go up to $700 per week. So some people don't have a choice. Well, they do have a choice, but it's a tough choice and where you're going to send your child for the day. And some people are just working just to pay for child care.
That's facts.
I'm not saying that this lady, I'm not excusing this, the mother of this 11-year-old. I'm not excusing this. But what I'm saying is they all need to be held accountable. I don't give a damn how old you are, because life was lost and somebody has to answer for it. A family will always be affected by this. And if we are truly saying that we are pro-lifers in this country, then somebody has to answer for this. Like Sebastian just told you, I don't care how old the person is. We got to start somewhere, and the parents too. And I know it's not intentional on the parents' part, but you were irresponsible. And being unknowing of the law is not a defense. So educate yourselves. This is a mess.
Yeah, it's very sad. Felicia?
Ignorance of the law does not excuse you from the law.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
First, I want to thank everybody who sent word of sorrow and about what happened to me. I appreciate it. This piece here, we just talked about a 12-year-old taking trash out, and he gets handcuffed and is going to be taken into the jail. And then I'm hearing about somebody's mother is still sitting up in her house talking about, well, an accident happened. No, I want her to get arrested. I want her to do the perp walk. I want her to be charged.
Yes, amen.
I believe all children should be loved and protected, including this 11-year-old. I don't know what their environment is. I don't know if he had a disagreement with the 8-year-old. I don't know what was happening, but there was supposed to be an adult present. I want that adult charged. I want that person arrested. I want them to do the perp walk, because a life was taken. This was no garbage,
right?
Thrown out. I'm just disgusted with law enforcement. They're going to let people know if there's going to be anything further. No. I'm done. I'm done for the night, Diva.
Yeah, I totally understand. I totally understand, because I'm on the edge of the train with you, ready to be done. Adele?
Yeah, Diva, you're bringing a lot of sad stories.
No, I'm sorry.
Really pull at the heartstring at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's needed to be talked about, though. It's very important to address them. You're right.
Yeah.
God rest the soul of this little girl, because
Yes.
honestly, we know, she's an innocent, no matter what her life has been. But there's that thing that says, she's 8 years old.
Yeah.
Being said, I also say, God, go with this 11-year-old, because there's a reason why we have adults, and the reason why we call them children. There's different categories because we're saying something. We're not just putting names on that because it's cute.
Right.
We're making a difference. We're saying you belong in this category because you've reached the age, because your brain is developed enough to understand. We know that kids, before they pass teenage age, their frontal lobe is not even fully developed. So their brain and the way that they make decisions is completely different. And there's a reason for that. So I'm saying that not to say that at the end of the day, this kid is not going to need help or some kind of intervention. Of course, just for the fact that you see what you've done, when you treat something like a toy in a society, kids are going to want that toy. And I'm not going to fight the madness by bringing up the bigger powers that we need to look at the things. It's just too overwhelming to even go there. But and legislations are very important. And I'm not going to try to start comparing Canada and US, but I've been living in Canada for over 30 years, and there's never been a story like that there.
Wow.
Because gun things in Canada, like we get some guns once in a while from the US.
Pow, 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 pow. It's all right, Adele. It's all right. It's all right. I know. Because it comes out so natural. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
So we get some pow pow once in a while, because everybody is going to try to get them where they get them, right? And there's still, no matter where you are, who you are, there's always certain people that want certain things for certain reasons. That being said, I do understand where it comes from, and I do understand, the history of it all and why it was so important. But right now, anything that's killing people anything that's a danger to, thank you. Anything that's a danger to people, we need to have to look at it, and especially our community, where they say the number one killers of Black men is.
Yeah, it's so sad.
That's the thing, and if we know that, just the absence of that would create a big difference. That being said, I don't like these conspiracy theories, but sometimes it's like you pay attention to certain things that helps you, but not necessarily helps another community. But what happens is that overall, this is one of my prayer things, is just the idea that we constantly, because I do believe we're all connected as human beings, no matter who you are. And what I want for myself, I want for everybody else. And I just pray that everyone in this situation is okay, and we're able to look beyond the bigger reasonings, because this situation is happening, but look how many we've talked about that you could even say it's there's a one thing that's in that keeps on showing up in these situations. Can we get rid of that?
The same thing. Yes, you are correct. Or in every situation, is a lot of situations we talk about, it's that one thing. Who is sad? Listen, guys, I'm running in overdrive here. Denzel, what are your thoughts?
This is a sad situation. I watched this. I remember this story. Again, some people should not have, a pow or any other weapon, because some people are not equipped to have that type. Some people are not equipped to even have a weapon. Some people are not equipped to be parents. Some people can't be parents. So, rest in peace to her. Condolences to her parents. I'm praying for them, and her family. I'm praying for them as well, and I hope they get justice. the 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 11-year-old needs to go to juvie. The mother, she needs to go to prison because you can't have your pal laying around and have your child gonna pick it up. So she needs to go to prison. And again, I hope and pray that they get justice. And Diva and everybody, we just got to stay prayed up because this is a sad story. And that's it, Diva.
Thank you. Listen, thank you everybody for being here. I hate to make this somber Tuesday, but you know what? We gotta have awareness about these things that are going on, especially the 12-year-old kid. Thank God he is still here. For the young 8-year-old that lost her life so early. Oh my God, may she rest in peace.
She needs
but
justice.
I think she does need justice, but I also think there's stronger parameters need to be around. Just like you can't just go out there and get your driver's license overnight. There's stronger parameters that need to be around these things. And you know the things I'm talking about. But thanks guys for being here. Thank you for getting me to 30K. Thank you for loving me.
Congratulations once again.
Up and hitting that like button. Okay.
Exactly. It's subscribe.
It's subscribe.
Diva,
Yes.
can I echo Denzel?
Like really quickly because I'm tired.
DV, you don't get tired.
Diva said she is tired.
He is ready to go. Diva is ready to go.
Did you hear Andrew Caldwell taking us out with the prayed up rendition?
Say that again.
Huh?
Did you hear Andrew Caldwell with the prayed up rendition?
I didn't.
Hold on, let me take you out.
That gives me bow. That's how I made it through my darkness time. Oh, I'm a sinner.
Andrew Caldwell. Y'all don't know Andrew Caldwell?
I can't even think right now. But listen, guys, I
that's
appreciate
not
you.
geriatrics.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us, Diva. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Love you, Diva. Love y'all. Y'all have a blessed night.
Words
Bye.
of healing and goodness. Thank you.